Tristan Reed is a power forward from St. Louis, Missouri, and you may be hearing that name and thinking a Reed, a T. Reed from St. Louis, Missouri. Is that? Yes, you are correct.
Is that the Reed family music?
This is the Dancing Bear, Taris Reed's music calling. Taris Reed, his little brother, Tristan Reed, is a four-star power forward in the class of 2026. Now, Tristan Reed is not as big as his brother was, which reflects the fact that he is a little more lowly rated than his brother was. But yeah, 6'8", 210-pound power forward, and the 66th consensus best player in the class per 24/7. He has some big time offers from a lot of high major programs. He also just had a really good game over the weekend with Mocan Elite, which is also, I believe, where Taris played. He had 21 points and 10 rebounds, and I just saw a lot on my timeline about Tristan Reed sort of popping off here. Per Sam Lance, who covers recruiting on the prep level a good amount, there are a bunch of schools, including Iowa, Kansas State, Missouri, and then Michigan and Michigan State, who are all pursuing Tristan Reed and staying in touch. Ohio State is also in the mix, and Tristan Reed is now going to play his senior year at Link Academy. So some updates there, but you and I are going head to head. Michigan State and Michigan are going head to head for Terrace Reed's little brother.
Mhm.
Just saying that sentence out loud feels a little strange to me given how much has changed since the first time Michigan and Michigan State both recruited Terrace Reed. What are your thoughts on this? And I guess him as a player in general, too.
So, two things. Well, actually, I guess three. Um, Obviously, given the where he's from, I've always, at least since I found out about Tristan Reed, I always just thought like he'll end up at Missouri somehow. Just given like obviously where he's from, where he's gonna play. Two, you're out of your mind if you think you're gonna beat Michigan State for a 6'8" center. We do that shit, all right. Are you 6'8" center? Please give me. I like that. Or we gonna play him at the three? Nah, center him. But obviously, like you said, not doesn't have the size that Taris has. But I will say this: there are similarities in how I think they play and approach the game. Tristan Reed's all over the glass in everything that I watch. Like he's carving out space. He does a great job of wedging himself down low and puts himself in great position to get rebounds and things like that. Honestly, he might have better hands than Terrace. If he is undersized, he might have better hands than Terrace. But I just think he does a great job of using his 6'8" frame to wedge out space down low, and he grabs everything at the rim and he finishes. So obviously, I think given that he is a 6'8" center, there is a little bit of a cap to, possibly what his level is. But I think the rebounding is for real, and that might just be a Reed family thing. Their family tree, they just grab rebounds.
Yeah, it definitely, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of similarities in terms of how he plays to Terrace, the prep level prospect, right?
Yeah,
The cell was like just dominant on the boards. And okay, I have a lot of questions here. He's not his brother because he's 6'8".
yeah.
A 6'8" Terrace Reed is not something I'm all that interested in.
Hmm.
Are you?
No.
So do you think there's upside beyond that? Like, I guess what's the sell?
Uh, well, can I do a quick comp on like what I think his best case scenario would be?
Of course.
Like a Julius Marble.
Okay.
But Julius Marble kind of had like that little like weird ass like he turned into Michael Jordan from the mid range randomly. I don't think that Tristan has that, but I just think kind of like 6'8" can rebound, can finish. Um, and also like I feel like to me the thing about Tristan is I feel like he plays within himself a little bit, and for me, Terrace sometimes gets out of himself, which frustrates you at times. I think he tries to do a little bit too much. When I watch Tristan, I think he really just he kind of understands what he is. Like he's just this kind of I'm a wedge out space, I'm a rebound, I'm gonna play hard. If I get a chance to finish, I'm gonna finish. Just don't really ask me to do much more.
Okay, I think that's a fair read, and if that is a correct read, it could make all the difference in the world. I'm well documented with my thoughts on Taris. He's become a very good player at UConn. Dan Hurley has taken him to a level that he just didn't reach in 2 years at Michigan under Juwan Howard, and that I guess I should have expected that. I still think there are problems with Taris in his game. Like he's the most streaky center in the country. If he's great, he'll give you 20 and 20. If he's bad, he'll give you 0 and 2 and 4 fouls and 3 turnovers. And that happened constantly throughout UConn's season. It's why he never overtook Samson Johnson to start at center, despite everyone that watched UConn agreeing Taris was their best center. So we'll see how this year goes. And again, this is not a Taris Reed conversation, but I don't think you can watch the Tristan Reed film, and I don't think I can tell that I see what you're saying as much. Like I don't think prep level Taris was like a guy that played outside of his means much. And if Tristan looks like he understands his skill set a little more, that's great. I don't know that it necessarily will mean that that translates forever. Maybe it will. I don't know. I don't want to put his brother's flaws on him, but I just don't. I see the same exact skill set, just in a much smaller package, which is not worth recruiting to me. You like for your comp to be Julius Marble. Let me spin this back at you. Do you want to be recruiting Julius Marble?
No.
So that's where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm a little surprised like Michigan and Michigan State are involved here.
Well, I
And
mean, you can't be that surprised though because of how, like I mean, honestly, Michigan State being on it, it's what they want to do, like the family connection thing, right? Like they were very, like
what's the connection?
Michigan State was very much in on Taris Reed.
So Michigan State's connection here is that a guy chose to go to the rival over Michigan State, but
No,
they feel they have a
I'm
great
just saying like
relationship.
familiarity with the Reed family is
Okay.
there. That's the connection.
I don't think that's the best connection. In fact, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised Michigan State is on this list given that because every time that there's a younger brother, you don't recruit the younger brother. Why is Taris Reed the first little brother that Tom Izzo wants? I'm so
I,
confused by that. But no, in all seriousness, I would have thought that Taris sort of closing the door on Michigan State would leave Tom Izzo and family in a spot where like, yeah, we don't really want to go through that again for a lower rated version of Taris Reed. Michigan, I mean, he was a Juwan Howard commit. I'm surprised anyone on the Dusty May staff is into this. For what it's worth, Dusty flat out said at one point that Taris was a great player and that by the time he got there, like it just didn't make sense for Taris and for Vlad. But Dusty pretty explicitly was like, yeah, I would have loved to have coached Taris. We just knew it wasn't going to happen. So I don't know. Maybe Dusty sees something in him. But either way, for me, I can't imagine Tristan Reed is going to choose to go play at Michigan after how Taris's career went at Michigan, even though it's a different staff. Like that would be flat out strange, wouldn't it?
no, for sure. I don't see it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of being billed as like Michigan and Michigan State going head to head for Tristan Reed. I'd be pretty stunned if he chose either of those schools.
Yeah, that's fair.
Does he feel like a certain fit at any of the schools on his list to you? There's one that pops out to me. You said
Uh,
Missouri. I can see that.
I can see Missouri for sure. Hmm,
He feels like a Jake Diebler big.
I was just gonna say Ohio State does make a lot of sense.
I mean, Sean Stewart 2.0.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'd say Missouri or Ohio State.
Okay. All right. We'll keep an eye on it. Good luck to Tristan Reed. And no UConn on his list?
I know.
Why not?
Suddenly, UConn wants a 6'8" center.
But Terrace was the fourth leading rebounder in the league.
Harris is 6'10".
Oh, yeah.